Hi, welcome to Draw Tip Tuesday. My name is Koosje Koenen and I love drawing, and that's exactly what we'll be doing today again. If you watched my video last week, then you know I started this challenge of drawing the same subject, the same setup, that one, over and over again, without it becoming boring because, everything is interesting when you draw it. As soon as you draw something, it becomes interesting and you start seeing so much more. So even if your still life or your subject is the same, you will be different every time that you draw it, and your material can be different, your approach. So that will make it super interesting actually to use the same subject again and again. Today I am going to use a dip pen because I haven't used it for a while, so it's about time. And drawing my subject will be completely different with this very different tool than the one that I used last week. I am using a dip pen with a G nib and India ink from Dr. P.H. Martins. As I dip the pen into the ink, it still feels a little bit unfamiliar, but soon enough I'll be happily drawing away. And I'm reminded of how freeing it is to work with actually a really traditional medium. Of course, there is no erasing, as I don't do erasing. Every stroke is intentional, but also whatever goes wrong, and you just need to embrace the wonkiness. And what I love most is how unpredictable the lines can be. Some strokes come out a little bit bold and heavy, others lighter and delicate, and you can have a little bit of control, but it's nice if you don't control it too much. The unpredictability adds a sense of expression to the drawing. And sometimes you'll even get a big blob of ink, or the pen might run dry in the middle of a line. And that may seem like a mistake, but I actually really enjoy these little surprises. I guess that I'm like Bob Ross. There are no mistakes, only happy accidents. They just give more character to your drawing. And it's a great way to learn to embrace imperfections, and, it's all part of the process. One of my favorite techniques when using a dip pen to create depth in a drawing is hatching. You can add parallel lines to darken areas and to give a sense of volume. It's a very simple technique, but really effective for shading and for texture. By layering lines at a different angle, which is cross-hatching, you can build even more depth and contrast. You can also curve your hatching lines along the shapes of the object of your drawing. By following the contours of your drawing, you can create the illusion of roundness. It makes the drawing feel a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more playful. And when I do this, it really gives me a nice sense of flow. Every time I use a dip pen, I am reminded that it's really versatile and a lot of fun. It takes a little bit of practice, but from thin, delicate lines to bold, expressive strokes, you can do it all, and every mark has its own character. Some people do not like the scratchiness of it. I think it also depends on the kind of dip pen you use, the kind of nib you use. But like with all tools, with a little bit of practice, you'll find how a tool like this can expand your creative horizon. This is all about exploring and making use of the tools that you have. Well, I hope you enjoyed it, but most of all, I hope you are doing this for yourself as well. I hope you found something that is interesting for you, something related to a hobby or, something that you love that you can use as your subject week after week. And this way you will grow a series of portraits of the thing. And so I guess that if you need an assignment for this week, you already know what it is. Go back to your subject or your still life, or whatever it was last week, and go and draw it. Pick a different tool and see how it goes. Enjoy the process. The act of drawing is what it's about. And trust the process too, and hopefully you'll get something out of it. You'll learn something, or at least you had some fun playing in your sketchbook. Speaking of fun, I just want to mention that I am teaching a workshop in Lisbon in April 2025 with my friend Cynthia Morris. And it'll be a fantastic week in Lisbon. It'll be travel and art and creativity and so many other things that all happen in your sketchbook. And I really want to invite you to at least check out the website, which I will put the link of below this video. I'll see you next week. Bye.